It's day 30! I'm on my way to see a matinee of Shakespeare's King John. I tried to work on my paper this morning, but I didn't get very far. So I'm probably gonna ask Jane and or Tim for help. Never hesitate to ask your teachers for help, kids. They want to help you. Look at Kate reading a book like a nerd.
Don't fight the forces, use them. Inspectors and inspectors won't guide you too. Don't fight the forces, use them. Inspectors and inspectors won't guide you too. Don't fight the forces, use them. America, fuck yeah! Coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah!
Everyone wanted me to go play frisbee with them, but I'm staying in to do homework like a nerd.
Slay.
Nerd.
Fuck
Nerd.
you. You're the biggest fucking nerd I ever met. Gabby made me vegetable stew. She made it just for me. She didn't make too much and ask if I wanted any. She made it for me because she loves me. Katrina, you're beautiful. So, you may have noticed that while I like to introduce the plays that I come and see here, I don't often talk about them after the fact, and that has a lot to do with the fact that I don't imagine that a lot of people want to hear me talk about and analyze plays, but I'm getting feedback that that might not be the case. So, I would like to talk about something that is very near and dear to my heart, which is queer theater. Now, I saw Deep Blue Sea, and then I saw Kenny Morgan. And that was an amazing intellectual experience to see the product of that time, of that author in his relationship, and to see the story after the fact. It's very fascinating. I think that the difference between the shows is highly illustrated by the titles. Deep Blue Sea is poetry. It's an idealized version of events. It's hope and goodness and a story about how even though you love someone, it isn't always enough. Whereas Kenny Morgan is life. It's about a person who couldn't make their own hope. Now, Deep Blue Sea and Kenny Morgan were apples and oranges, despite them being incredibly similar plot-wise and dialogue-wise. Like, there was dialogue that was verbatim. They were both so different. So it's incredibly hard to compare and contrast them. But if I had to, I would say that I enjoyed, not necessarily enjoyed, but I was struck more by Kenny Morgan. And I think the reason why is there was this sword of Damocles that came with Kenny Morgan of the gayness issue, of them being exposed, of shame, of fear, that was constant in the play and in the acting, that was just incredibly resonant and heightened everything. Also, I feel that Deep Blue Sea is sort of a sanitized version of events. I don't blame the author for wanting to insert hope into the story, for wanting to write a happy ending for his lover who couldn't find it. But that's not what happened. Deep Blue Sea is how that story should have ended, but Kenny Morgan was the truth. And when I go and see theater, I seek truth. So I enjoyed Kenny Morgan more. I also feel like it addressed a lot of issues that Deep Blue Sea shied away from. And as far as the production went, the theatrical text, as Tim would call it, the theater that I went and saw Kenny Morgan in was much more low budget, but I think that what they came up with served the story more than the probably $1 million set that the National Theater put on. I mean, it was an amazing set, and I loved it, and it could have been great for something else, but I don't think it served the story of Deep Blue Sea as well as the much more low-budget Kenny Morgan set did. Now, in this, I do not want to communicate that Deep Blue Sea was not good, because it was amazing. Something I will say about it is the incredible writing. In a story about cheating, about betrayal, about suicide and depression, they managed to tell a story where no one was the villain. That was not present in Kenny Morgan. It was very clear who the asshole was. I think they're both incredibly important pieces, and seeing them both together like that is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And I feel so incredibly blessed to have seen that. And I wish I was more of an apt theater scholar and I could explain this better and tell you in more elegant terms why these plays are important and how they're different, but I'm working on it.